This is a very brief video on graphing host stream allowances. I'll explain what they are and how they uh, would appear on a graph. Let's just discuss the intent of a sprinkler system. Be great if the sprinkler system puts the fire out, but really a sprinkler system is meant to control a fire and working in conjunction with the fire department ultimately put out a fire. And so what that anticipates is the use of additional hose support by the fire department. And what NFPA 13 has done is, along with either a configuration of piping or a density requirement, they also have a hose stream requirement, meaning that the fire department will supplement the firefighting capabilities with hoses. And as you can see, the light hazard occupancy requires 100 GPM, the ordinary hazard 250, and the extra hazard 500. Now, there are other requirements for other storage configurations that I have not gone into. These are just for the hazard classifications. I want you to see how these hose streams will impact the overall water supply, and that comes up in the next slide. So what we have is a graph of a water supply, and you can see up top it says 90-900-70, and what that means, of course, is that our static, our no flow is 90 psi, and our flow at 70 psi is 900. And you can see below the yellow line depicts that 990 at 900 at 70 water supply. Now, though we discussed the fact that the fire department will be using hose streams to support the firefighting effort of the sprinkler system. Well, that water needs to come from somewhere, and it comes from that water supply, that 90, 900 at 70. So what we do is we deduct the hose stream allowance from the water supply. In this case, we're deducting a 250 GPM water requirement for the hoses. And so what I do is I would go to, for instance, the 900 mark and deduct 250, which puts me at 650. And then I would go to the 600 GPM mark and deduct 250, which puts me at 350. And then I have that dotted line. And that dotted line represents the new water supply with the outside or the hose stream allowances deducted from the overall water supply. So what it's telling me is that for sprinkler design, my water supply is no longer based on 90, 900 at 70, but at that dotted line water supply as we expect to be using the hose stream allowances. Now, for purposes of the next video, which is going to be complicated using a number of different curves, I'm not going to use the hose stream allowance. And the reason for that is you can see that these these presentations here are kind of crude, and I really don't want to be drawing numerous curves because it just will muddy up the important points that I'm trying to make in the next presentation. So know that these hose stream allowances are required, that they do subtract from the overall water supply, and that in any real calculation you will be using them. But for demonstration purposes that we'll be using in the next video, I will not be using water supply with the hose stream allowances deducted. The next video will be really a fun video. So what we're going to do is put a number of things together: water supply, supply curves, system curves. And what we're going to do is have a existing density with the residual and demands and start to extrapolate out different densities, residual and demands, and kind of discuss the system curve, some of the nuances of it, so that you at least understand when you see something like that, uh, the imperfection of it, but the fact that it's good enough for the use that we intend it to be. So I look forward to seeing you on the next video. I think it will be very, very interesting, and that should be coming soon. Bye now.